So today's video is going to be about vitamins, and this video was highly requested. I have a couple of vitamins with me as well. It's actually very heavy. So I have a couple of vitamins in here. Mostly these are just vitamins that I don't take. It's good that on one hand I still have them and I can make a video and kind of explain you why I don't take them anymore. But on the other hand, it's good that I'm making this video so I can just clean out my drawer of vitamins. After you watch this video, you may still have a couple of questions, and it's okay for you to comment down below and I will try to answer them, because I understand that there's so much information about vitamins and there's no way I can cover all of it in the video. So if you still have questions, that's fine. Just comment down below, because it's better for you to comment down below where everyone else can see, and someone else may have the same question as you, so they'll see my answer. So one of the most common questions I get is whether taking a multivitamin or just taking supplements or vitamins in general is worth it. And my opinion, and again, I'm basing my opinion on my scientific knowledge, on my experience. I believe that you should get all your vitamins from your food. That should be your primary source. That's what our bodies are made for. We are born to get all the vitamins and nutrients and minerals from the food. That's why food exists. There's no way you can survive just by eating vitamins. You know, your body wouldn't survive that way if you try to live that way. Think of, let's say, you know, you need vitamin C. Think of citrusy fruits. You need vitamin D. Think of salmon. You should definitely try to get all your vitamins through food. I don't think the philosophy of, okay, even if I don't eat well, I'll just take a multivitamin and that will cover it. You know, it's fine. I don't think that way of thinking is correct. You should always count on the vitamins through food, what you put inside your body, and it's your responsibility. No one can control what you're putting in your body. If you want to make sure you're getting all the daily vitamins, the ones that your body needs, it's your responsibility to make sure you're eating a clean diet and making sure you're eating tons of vegetables and fruits and the least processing foods as possible, because those foods like vegetables and fruits are naturally rich in vitamins and minerals. I certainly believe that there's a place for vitamins. I do take vitamins. I try to eat as healthy as possible and try to cover my bases with food, but there are certain vitamins that I feel like, unfortunately, we just need some help with. First example would be prenatal vitamins. If you're pregnant, we all know that, you know, your gynecologist will recommend that you take a prenatal vitamin, and that's because your body just needs a lot of help when you're trying to carry this baby. I mean, there's a baby growing inside of you, and it's very hard, no matter how healthy you eat, it's very hard to provide all the nutrients for yourself plus the baby. And what ends up happening actually is that the baby will always get what the baby needs first, he or she. You may be the one suffering. For example, if you're not getting enough calcium through your diet and you're not taking enough through supplementation, the baby will get the calcium that it needs. It will steal it from you. But then you may start suffering from osteoporosis because the baby's getting all of it. But if you're pregnant and you're taking a prenatal vitamin, you can still get folate naturally from your food. For example, cereals are usually enriched, but there are natural sources like avocado, which is a high folate food, oranges. So there are a couple of foods that are folate rich naturally. The place where I think a multivitamin has its purpose is with the elderly. I mean, when I used to work at a hospital and I was counseling older patients, mostly the main concern I would see with them is loss of appetite. So they were like eating a meal a day, and typically that meal would be something like toast and tea, something very non-nutritious. And in that case, I definitely think that a multivitamin is important. So the next situation would be if you're having a very stressful week. And I remember when I was in college, during exam times, I would be, like, my diet would be a mess. And it's funny because that's actually the time that you want to be eating well. I mean, you need all the energy, you need your brain to function well because you're trying to perform well in your exams. But for some reason, all I wanted was to eat junk and chocolate, and I wasn't having my normal meal times. So in that situation, I feel like it is appropriate for you to take a multivitamin if you feel like your body is definitely not getting the nutrients and vitamins that it needs. I don't take any multivitamin daily, but I do take vitamin D. And vitamin D is one of those vitamins that is very tricky because a lot of us are deficient and we just don't know, especially in the winter because vitamin D, we get it from the sun. In the winter, that really doesn't happen. A lot of us don't know that we're deficient and we're walking around with depression symptoms and low energy, and then we go to the doctor and they want to prescribe us with an antidepressant and all that. So I actually asked my doctor to check my vitamin D and it was extremely low, and I started taking a vitamin D supplement. In 2 months, I was fine and I definitely noticed a difference. After that, my husband actually got his vitamin D checked. It was even lower than mine, and it's funny because I'm very pale and he has olive skin tone, and the darker you are, the harder it is to absorb vitamin D from the sun. There are very little vitamin D sources in food. You would get it from like salmon and sardines because they're fatty fishes. Cod liver oil, but who wants to take that daily? It's just very hard to get vitamin D from your food. And companies are starting to enrich foods with vitamin D. However, I've seen a couple that add vitamin D2, not vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is more expensive, but it's what your body really wants. Vitamin D3 I've been taking is by this brand, Now Foods. And I really like this brand. A doctor once told me that this is the only vitamin D that compares to prescription strength. I've taken other brands ever since and I haven't noticed a difference. But you do want to check your lab values before you start taking vitamin D, because you kind of want to know how much you need. Like mine was very low. It was in the 20, it was like 25. Normal range is 30 to 100. And if you want to be in the range to prevent cancer and have your immune system be at its best, you want to keep it in the 50s to 70s values. Since I bought this one by Vitacost when I'm done with this one was on sale, so I just wanted to try out. The main differences I saw between both of these was that the Now Foods one has olive oil inside and this one has soy oil. Again, they have to have some type of oil because they are fat soluble. And you do notice a difference. I take 5,000 units a day. This is just something I need to keep my lab values in range. So again, it depends on your lab values. You might need just 1,000. Now the other vitamin that I do think has its purpose is vitamin C. And this one's my husband's. He's been taking this daily. And I'll explain why. Vitamin C and zinc, you can take one or the other or together. If you take them together, it has a better effect. But vitamin C and zinc are pretty good for wound healing. So if you got hurt, if you have a big cut and you're trying to recover, or if you just have a big wound in your leg or wherever, we see a lot of that in the hospital. When people are in hospital beds for a very long time, especially the elderly, they start developing wounds and they get pretty bad. Sometimes you can see the bone. So typically when a patient has a stage 4 wound, we recommend that they take vitamin C and zinc because it helps with collagen production and just wound healing in general. So my husband recently got hurt on his forehead. He was outside trying to like gather, you know, the wood for the fireplace, and like this big, you know, branch just hit his forehead, and yeah, it was scary. He got here, you know, there was like blood squirting everywhere, and he had a really big wound. So I immediately went to the pharmacy and I picked up this vitamin C. So if you're hurt and if you have a big wound, if you're just trying to improve healing, if you got burnt, vitamin C and zinc are very good for that. Now, do I think that you need to take it on a daily basis? No. Again, we only have this at home because he's trying to recover from his big wound on his forehead. The other supplement that has been scientifically proven to have great results is melatonin. There are a lot of people in today's society, because of stress levels and just the way things are, that have huge problems with sleeping, and they could go hours and hours without sleeping and they still have to go to work the next day, and it's just a very serious problem. I would recommend that if you have sleeping issues that you would try melatonin first, because it's been proven really to help you, and I would rather see you go with melatonin than having to go with something that is highly addictive. So the other vitamin that I think has a great purpose is B12. Now, again, I don't take B12. My B12 is naturally okay. I guess I'm doing a good job with my diet. But let's say you're vegan, and B12 is found primarily in animal products, so meat, fish, and milk and eggs. So if you're vegan, you're not eating any of this. So you have a very high chance of having B12 deficiency. B12 is extremely important for your metabolism and energy, so you might want to supplement with that. This one by Now Foods, and it's 1,000 micrograms, and it's sublingual, so this one tastes like cherry. It's very easy to take. You just let it sit under your tongue and it just dissolves slowly. Now, the problem with these supplements, B12 supplements, is that only like 10%, I think that's the percentage. Only about 10% gets absorbed. So yes, if you're B12 deficient, you know, and you're still trying to eat healthy, whatever you can get, even if it's just 10%, you know, that's great. But if your deficiency level gets to be very low, your doctor will opt for intramuscular B12. And what that means is you get a shot, I think it's about once a month, in your muscles. And that's a lot more effective. I think the other vitamin that I think is very important is calcium. And it's primarily important if you're 50 or older and if you're a woman. Because as women, we start losing bone after we're 30. So up until I think we're 30, we're still kind of like building it like right now, I'm almost 27. I'm not building a lot of bone anymore, but you know, I'm still not breaking it down. After 30, you start breaking it down. So you want to make sure that you keep your bones strong. Now, through your diet, you can eat so many vegetables rich in calcium. Even our almond milk and soy milk, regular milk has calcium, either naturally or enriched. If you're a woman and you're 50 years old or older, you should definitely be supplementing with about 1,200 milligrams a day of calcium. Now, there are two types of calcium. There's calcium carbonate and calcium citrate. And carbonate is the cheapest one. It's the one that you can get like more easily at the pharmacies. But calcium citrate is the one that your body can absorb more easily. And as you get older, you start having lower levels of acid in your stomach. And the lower the levels of acid you have, the harder it gets to absorb calcium carbonate. Okay, so now that I've talked about specific vitamins that I do feel are important, now it doesn't mean that all the other ones aren't important. I just really wanted to touch on these because I do feel like these have a place in your daily diet. Now, it depends on yourself. Again, I don't take a multivitamin. I only take vitamin D3. don't feel like I need calcium yet, don't feel like I need B12. It depends on your personal diet and health issues. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is being cautious of where you get your supplements from. Now, supplements aren't monitored by the FDA. One of my friends that actually watches my videos here on YouTube, she knew I was going to film a vitamin video, so she sent me a very interesting article, which I'm going to leave the link down below for all of you to read. And it's about how they collected a bunch of supplements, and most of them had like lead and other chemicals. So, I mean, it's crazy. You really have to make sure you're choosing the right brand. And like I said, I do prefer that you take it from food, because that way you're not risking taking lead and other chemicals. But then there are situations like me taking vitamin D that I need vitamin D. I obviously can't do it without the supplement because my levels are always low, and in that situation you just weigh what's best for you and you take the supplement. Before I get into the specific guidelines, I just wanted to let you guys know that a lot of people think, okay, it's an herb. Just because it's an herbal medicine, it's natural, it won't hurt you. But herbal medicine does interact with regular prescriptions. So let's say you're taking regular prescriptions medication, like blood thinners and things like that. If you take an herbal medication over the counter, you can be interacting with that medication, and that could cause very serious problems. And I want to give you guys an example. I see a lot of licorice root supplementations, and everyone's like, oh, it's natural, it's fine. But that can actually give you a heart attack if you take too much. Sure, just because it's an herb or it's like natural, that it's good for you. You want to make sure it's not interacting with your other medications and it's not harming you in any way. So when you're picking your supplements, you want to look on the label. And what you want to look for is either GMP, which the Now Foods one has, and GMP, what it means is good manufacturing procedures. So it means that whenever they were inspected, they did follow the good manufacturing procedures. So you do want to look for that in the labels. Now, you want to look for COA or GMP, like this one. So this one right here says quality GMP assured. So I was looking on the Vitacost vitamin D3 because I just got this recently, and I couldn't find anything on the label, but they do have a GMP disclaimer on their website, on their listing under the supplementation. The other thing that you could look for, just like the GMP label or the COA, you could look for something that says USP. And what that means is, it means that it was inspected and verified under the US Pharma Convention. And only about 1% of all vitamins in America are inspected through the US Pharma. Let's say if you're someone that suffers from IBS or even Crohn's disease, even celiac disease, sometimes people that have lower intestinal issues will benefit from a probiotic. And probiotics are just good bacteria. And with probiotics though, people forget that they think they take probiotics and it's all fine, but you do have to feed it. So that's the term prebiotics, which is what helps probiotics work off of. And you can just get prebiotics just by eating a great diet. And things like fructose and your fruit are known as natural prebiotics. The other thing I have with me is some Centrum, which is a multivitamin, and it's expired. I'm going to toss it out. I don't take it. I bought this when I was in college because, again, I would go weeks that I wasn't eating too healthy with exams and stress levels. So I bought it for that, to take it just to cover my bases. But I ended up not taking that much. I mean, it's pretty full. I don't know if you can tell. And it's expired by this point. I do worry with multivitamins because first, I hear people telling me all the time that, oh yeah, my energy did go up after taking a multivitamin. Now, do you really know if it's the entire multivitamin that is helping you? Or maybe were you deficient in B12, or were you deficient in vitamin D3? And because the multivitamin has a little bit of each, maybe you're just feeling better because you're no longer deficient or as deficient in a certain vitamin, but then you're getting all the extra other vitamins that come in here for nothing. I had a biochemistry teacher in college that told me that a multivitamin only makes your pee more expensive, that you pretty much just pee everything out and absorb very little of it, and I do believe it. So I feel like they fight and interact with each other, if that makes sense. I don't think you get to absorb that much of it, and I feel like people that do feel better on it, they are either experience the placebo effect, which is because you're taking it, you know that you're taking it, psychologically you feel like it's doing something, or you were in fact deficient in one of the vitamins, and now because you may not even be getting the full benefits, but you're getting something, so you automatically feel a little bit better. So moving on, I have iron, and this one's not mine. I've never taken it. It was actually my sister's. She had anemia at one point, so she was taking these. Now she's fine. She doesn't need them anymore. But I just noticed that this one, Nature Made, is USP verified. So that means they were inspected and verified by the Pharma Convention in USA. The other thing that is very popular here on YouTube, and I think I have 2 of these, is biotin. And biotin is very popular here because a lot of the girls take it to get stronger nails, better skin, and to help their hair grow. Now, there are no scientific articles or no scientific research that proves that biotin helps with hair growth or with nails. But, I mean, there are people that swear by it. Again, I bought this at one point. I think one of them was my sister's, and this one's actually closed. They're expired. I'm going to toss them out. And at one point, I was going to take it. I think it was when I was going through radiation treatments and my hair was falling. I was kind of getting desperate. But I don't believe, again, in taking anything like that. I feel like you can have beautiful, strong nails and beautiful hair that grows a lot if you take care of it, and if you eat healthy and you keep yourself hydrated. So I feel like if you eat well, if you drink a lot of water, and if you take care of your hair and skin and nails with the right products, you don't need this, and there's no research that backs this up. The next thing that I have, and it's very popular, and I bought this a long time ago. I feel like it's expired, not sure. I don't take it. I've only taken it like 3 times, and this is very popular in the vegan community. At one point, they thought that spirulina was rich in vitamin B12 because, again, vegans don't get B12 because they're not eating animal products. They did think at one point that this algae product had B12. That has been disproven, so I don't know if this is still popular. Now, there are people that say that it's a superfood and that it helps you, you know, get extremely good nutrients, just like there's people that drink chlorophyll and things like that. Again, I haven't had the need, or I'm just not into it. I know people sometimes add spirulina powder into their smoothies. I choose to add kale and spinach. And lastly, I do want to show these. They are in Portuguese, so I don't even know how to translate them, but I know some of you watch me from Portugal, and I do think these are amazing. Not to take them daily, but I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're watching me from Portugal and you want to get these, I wanted to let you guys know. I got these when I was in Portugal, and I was with my friends at the beach. We were actually down the south in Alentejo, and I thought I was getting a urinary infection. Now, I'm not sure if I was. So I went to the pharmacy, and she actually gave me, told me, like, she recommended that I would get these 2, and told me to take 2 of these 3 times a day. So I was taking, yeah, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 2 of these. And they were supposed to help you, you know, stop the infection if it was at the early stages. And now, I don't know if I was getting one or not. I thought I was. There's no way for me to know. All I know is that I didn't get one, and that if I was in fact getting one, it worked. Now every time I think I might be getting one, I just take this once. I don't take it 3 times a day, I take it once, and I haven't had any urinary tract infections for years. So I do keep these with me. Again, it's not something I'm taking every day. These are, I think this one is like cranberry, very like pure cranberry extract. Here in America, you know, even gynecologists tell you to drink 100% of cranberry juice, not the one that you get at regular supermarkets, just the pure kind. So I feel like I've made this video so long. I hope this video was informative somehow. I hope I didn't jump too much from one subject to another. I try to make it as informative as possible. With vitamins and supplements, I could go on and on. I feel like I didn't even touch on the beginning of the subject, but hopefully this video just opens up, you know, your knowledge about it, and I was able to clarify a couple of things for you. So thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be talking to you very soon. Bye guys!